ETCIO Knowledge Series. I'm Akhilesh Shukla, Deputy News Editor, Economic Times Online. And today we have discussion on e-governance portfolio management. We have Mr. Mohammed Naseem ul Haq Zaki, former Principal Lead, IT Strategy and E-Transformation, Dubai Municipality, Government of Dubai. Welcome to ETCIO Knowledge Series, Zaki.
Very nice. Thank you for the invitation. Pleasure to have you.
So in his 30-minute presentation, he'll also share a case study on Dubai Municipality. Besides, we'll also like to give some Indian perspective to the entire discussion. Over to you, Zaki.
Very nice. Thanks for having me here. It's been a pleasure to be part of this event on Google Hangout. I very much look out to having a session which explores the knowledge that we have gained across when I've been working with the Government of Dubai as a principal lead of IT strategy for e-transformation. The work, if you have known about Dubai, there has been a word which says Dubai rising, and I have been exactly there in Dubai at the same time when Dubai was rising. It's been a pleasurable working experience there, and as the principal lead of strategy at the municipality, we had a mandate of deploying the e-governance and the e-government methodologies for the Government of Dubai. I'll just put across a small presentation for you guys, which will take us through the kind of work that we have done, and also explain, while we talk about it, on what is the meaning of portfolio management and how does it help in e-governance. Primarily, I have a small disclaimer here because we are talking of certain government scenarios. We are talking of the scenarios across different countries, and I'm under an NDA for so many reasons on disclosing information, and hence would like to make sure that this information that has been spoken out is primarily based out of my experience that we have spent time in doing this project and as a lead of the project. Following is the presentation, the flow chart that we'll go through. We'll do an introspection on the present.
Sorry to interrupt you, Zaki. We can't see the presentation. If you can just share with us.
Oh, you're not able to see the presentation? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Are you able to see it now?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
The portfolio management and governance has been a part of the government activity. The disclaimer states out that whatever NDA clauses that I would like to have mentioned. A brief flow of the presentation would tell you that we will do an introspection on the present and what portfolio management means. We'll go through the strategy, governance, and how does it connect with portfolio management. A small retrospection of the past, the project that I worked on, and then you'll have a session for question answers and other discussions. I mean, in the times of rapid change, if you have seen, there have been a lot of budgetary constraints, there have been a lot of risks in the IT business, and as senior managements, we have always had the taxing question of, does this project make sense? Should we actually do this? I mean, do we have the objectives identified, or business is pushing, or is it IT department wanting to show off its capabilities? During this kind of situation, there are a lot of things that happen to the projects and the programs that we have, and because of so many variables at given point in time, most of the projects do not culminate to the necessity of receiving what they are supposed to achieve. And precisely for that reason, Gartner has had a technology survey that has been done, and the market survey says that 72% of the IT projects are either late or over budget. They lack functionality or have never been delivered. There has been an independent study by Scandish Group, and they say that this is because of incomplete requirements, lack of user involvement, and lack of resources, while having unrealistic expectations and no executive support at times. Principally, if you understand, IT has never been a part of the boardroom discussions. It has always been a subsidy of a resultant activity. Precisely why business faces a challenge in connecting between business and connecting between the alignment of technology and getting the governance, the performance measurement, and the improvement necessities of such things. And because in technology change is constant, it's too much of an effort for business to manage technology. Precisely for this reason is where we get into a situation of portfolio management. What does it mean? What do we mean by portfolio management? Gartner defines it as an effective and timely investment and the governance decisions about the organization's IT initiatives or projects, programs, or other efforts. I mean, in broad terminology, portfolio management can be for a lot of activities across financial sectors, across service sectors, across applications, across a various methods of looking at it. It simply means it's a collection of various projects and activities in a given situation. This is the overview of portfolio management, primarily because I just wanted you all to have an understanding of what it means to do this activity of portfolio management, what are the components of the activity, and how does it go through and culminate into a resultant method. Portfolio management, as you see, is a coordinated collection of strategic processes and decisions that together enable the most effective balance of organizational change and conducting business as usual. For example, I mean, just imagine that we have about tens of departments in any given organization. Each department has its own need to showcase its achievement and performance criteria, and there's a budget allocated across to ensure that those performance criteria and achievements are made sure. Now, in the similar situation, if you look at this flowchart, the flowchart demonstrates pretty well that there has been a pre-investment planning and there has been a project idea. There is an estimation process that goes through how and what would it cost us in terms of resources, time, and effort to achieve the goals of a defined department or a company. Hence, we contribute to the strategic necessities of business, and then we create an initiation process with a project charter, and the charter would say that these are the identified benefits of the project that we would be working on, and that project would need X amount of investment, Y resources, and the Z time frame to receive it or to deliver it. Now, during this, the organization has an understanding of certain necessities that need to be achieved at a given time frame, for which reason to evaluate the process of performance and to evaluate the process of reaching the end point, there are weightages and there are pass marks and there are percentages that has to be created. Hence, there's a scoring methodology which comes in place, which says if you receive or if you achieve X percentage of your deliverable, you have achieved so much of the business strategic initiative. In the similar sense, the estimation process versus the investment scoring model, the investment portfolio, are where decisions are made in which you start understanding how the strategic contribution happens to the investment balance versus the efficiency frontier, identifying the dependency sequence when there are multiple such projects in hand, sequencing the resources, making sure that the change in sequencing is put in place, then a whole set of portfolio of projects come in place. Now, when you communicate these projects and the methodology of that enablement of technology and create a dependency risk, you're able to identify which of these projects will start getting prioritized based on their needs and necessities of the organizational strategy being met with the alignment of business and technology needs. Once we start consolidating the portfolio and the change of events, and we start sequencing these, we will be able to know how we start managing the portfolio. Once we have a set of such prioritized portfolio, we would be able to optimize the portfolio and start looking for new investments being made based on the performance and the status of each project over a given point in time. The whole point here is that we are trying to connect the business strategy and its alignment with IT governance and utilization of the portfolio management methodologies or activities for managing the IT lifecycle management. Why do we need that? We need this because we need to make sure and try to look at the scenarios that have happened over a period of time where $1 million projects would not match the company's objectives. We are awarded business and the weakest IT governance structures come in place where business executives don't have clear ideas of what they're trying to do, while the CIO ends up selling the project to the business, which otherwise should be the other way, because the business is the one who owns the project and the CIO or the IT team or the IT department is the constituent which enables or delivers that kind of a project. In terms of doing that activity, we need to look at the pros and cons of how we create good business cases and the use cases for such projects. With portfolio management, most of the organizations are easily able to achieve the objective of governance by stopping or not starting projects that are destined to fail and or maybe delivered late due to over budget or inadequate functionality. As you look at this chart here, we're trying to show very clearly that there is a certain set of management activity that can be handled where governance is not required, but when there is a threshold defined and the traditional decisions are not going to help us is when governance-led decisions are required to do that. What is the business benefits of these activities? It improves transparency, it gives us accountability and a lot of organizational governance. We are able to identify the right programs, we are able to remove and merge redundant or duplicate projects. We are most efficiently able to implement the projects and the programs and utilize resources with great benefits. Just giving you a perspective on the meaning of what means portfolio management under technology and financials. The assets that are there defined under technology are projects, while in a financial portfolio they are financial instruments. If you understand the difference between a project, the project has a definite start and a definite end. The minute the project gets completed, it becomes an operational activity. So unless you create those drivers that manage the operational activity, the project is not complete. While in a financial scenario, the financial instruments have very distinct characteristics. They have very, very clear identified instruments that reduce the risk. On the contrary, in a project, that's not going to be very easily possible. Precisely where the goals of a project are to achieve profitability and growth, while the income and capital gains is what financial portfolio looks for. So the connection between technology and financial would be interdependence versus correlation. I hope I'm able to give you a perspective in understanding the differences between a technology portfolio versus a financial portfolio. Now let's go to the business case where in Dubai Municipality we deployed project and portfolio management to achieve the e-governance scenario. A bit of retrospection and going back in time, because we are now in 2014, just living the days when I was working on this project. In 2010, the United States nations had conducted an e-governance survey, which demonstrates the capability of multiple countries worldwide on their standing in terms of the e-governance, as well as the 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 situation, or should I say uh, the area that it has where business can work and create more business to happen. Which is where, if you look at it, Korea has been a star performer until that age. UAE had fell down 17 places from 32nd position, while India, China, Japan did not even have a presence. Dubai Municipality has about 33 entities. I mean, I can share the e-governance plan in case you would like to have a look at it. I'll just glance through it. But coming out from the technology department, the ITD or the IT department was supporting and addressing the ICT requirements of 33 entities. I mean, these 33 entities are large organizations who have their own interest in achieving e-governance and citizen services. Another survey of World Economic Forum, which shows that these are the standings on how each country has its positioning with reference to 2008-2007, where United States of America stands at the 3rd position, while United Arab Emirates stands at the 27th position. So there has been this kind of a survey that has been happening across the world, which shows the method of e-governance and the IT deployment and the technological advancement that is being done to enable businesses and citizens living in this place. What are the principal necessities for us on e-governance and the goals and objectives for us to achieve? Were service delivery, so that we are able to personalize and provide accessible services. We needed to achieve internal efficiency, improve internal processes, have community participation. On the right side, if you look at it, there is a small picture which shows you that the entire service portfolio that we had at the government or at the municipality had certain kinds of services being provided which are available on a service catalog. And as these services are being continually provided, there is a pipeline of certain services being retired, certain services being in operation, certain services being designed newly because of the advent of technology, because of the advent of social media, because of the advent of so many new mobility applications being available. For which reason it was necessary for us to make sure that we know which are the projects that are to be given priority, that are to be given space, that are to be given the most important needs of achieving service delivery and internal efficiency. What was the methodology that we started utilizing to have this happening? Is we developed certain sets called perspective and weightages to the perspective, certain scoring questions, and certain project scores, so that we finally identify those projects at each department level that would become the most prominent and most necessity to be taken care of. How did this cycle work? We had to look at the enterprise strategic intent. We had to look at the business objectives of each strategic business unit, look at the IT plan that we have versus the policy and the roadmaps, define the critical success factors to it, put up the requirements, define key performance indicators, identify how would we look at business and competitive intelligence to be utilized, have a balanced scorecard created, do a discovery of the portfolio, identify new ideas, mature them, find the feasibilities, select those ideas, start putting them into a portfolio for that strategic business unit. adjust this portfolio and start executing with reference to accessing its value and implementing of the projects, defining the resources and associating the resources, identifying the budgets versus its investments that are required. As we moved along, we look at the performance of a portfolio versus how these assets get created and then start readjusting them to the transformation process so that we achieve approved and mature concepts, that we have identified matured assets, and we are able to continue this cycle and achieve that excellence necessity of a portfolio management and have the appropriate measures in governance being taken care. What were the benefits derived? We established a structure of reference for the performance of IT planning and portfolio management practices. We are able to provide traceability for demonstrating business and IT alignment, which enable the selection of projects based on clear investment and criteria. We complied with the Director General of Electronic Necessities and requirement of established practices based on well-defined methodologies. We provided an effective investment analysis framework to ensure proper usage of available budgets, and so on. At the end of this process, the entire IT department was itself able to showcase how it would add value to the alignment of strategy and governance. That's about what we have in terms of the presentation. I'll take you through the place where I'm able to show you the Dubai Municipality's strategic plan. I hope you guys are able to see this. Let me share the screen. The screen shows the municipality's strategic plan, where on the right hand side